Hey everybody, welcome back. So I have a special guest. This is Miss Amy, if you don't know her.
Hi
She is
everyone.
Pastor Daniel's wife. So Miss Amy has an Instant Pot, and did you end up buying another one?
Okay, so I'll just confess right now. I need this course with Miss Jamie Dean. I need some 101 Instapot because I ruined mine because I poured all of my ingredients into here and not the pot. So we'll just start there. That's why I'm here today.
So that's actually pretty common.
Okay.
A lot of people that I know have done that because they think that this is just like a special insert for certain recipes. It's not. In order to do anything, you have to have this in here. So
Okay.
all the food, all the ingredients goes inside this. You can order second ones of these, by the way, if you're gonna make like a whole meal. You can order just the insert. So like, say you're gonna make like a chicken and then you want to make like potatoes or something after. You can order a second one, but yeah. So that's
Good
definitely thing one. So yeah. Anyways, with the Instant Pot, I have an Instant Pot Duo, which is a pretty common model.
Yeah, I think that's what I have too.
Yeah, it's pretty common. I know there's a bunch of different ones out there, but we'll just go ahead and go over like kind of the basic setup and what the buttons mean. So when you get your Instant Pot, like I said, you get this. You get your lid, and typically it will come with these two. You can see these little utensils. And then it will come with a little cup like this. So this is your condensation cup.
Okay.
And what this does is, on the back of your Instant Pot, there is this little tray here for when it's steaming. It's gonna create the condensation. And there's a hole up in here. And then this cup, you always wanna make sure this is on. It just slides in right there, and it catches any condensation.
Yeah, I actually got that part right. So that's a good thing.
So that's in the setup. I don't think I've ever really had anything, in all the times I've used it, I don't think I've ever had to empty this though.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you need to rinse that out or does it just stay on?
I basically leave it on. I check it after I cook.
Okay.
But I mean, I've never had, I don't know, I've had my Instant Pot for a year and a half and I've never had any buildup in there. So I guess it's just like a safety feature maybe. But so that goes on the back. And then you have these utensils that come with it. And something that is really cool about these, in case you don't know, is for your little soup ladle. If you're using it, you can actually hook it.
Oh my goodness.
And it just kind of
I had no idea.
Just kind of hangs there for you. And then this one, you can either stand it up.
Okay.
So it's not touching, or if it is down, it doesn't touch the bottom either. So that's why
brilliant.
It's kind of designed like that. And then you can also kind of rest it like that.
I just have to know, did you read this in the manual or you just figured it out?
I just kind of figured it out.
Okay. She's so smart.
I literally use this so much. Like, I cook everything in it. Everything from breakfast to desserts to, I make tea in it.
Oh.
So growing up in Indiana, we used to make sun tea where you put it in like a
glass
and sit outside.
Yep. I know all about that.
I thought moving out here to Arizona, I was like, oh, this is great. Like, we're gonna have so much sun tea. It's gonna be great. I can't wait that long. So I make tea in the Instant Pot.
Okay.
And it takes like 4 minutes, and you have a full thing of tea.
All right, I need that recipe.
Yeah.
We drink lots of tea.
Yep.
Sweet tea in particular at our house.
So then, as far as some buttons go.
Okay.
All right.
There's a lot of buttons.
There's a lot of buttons, and I think that's something that like intimidates people.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're like, okay, what do I do with all this? I will say, the pressure cook button, or if you have a different model that might say manual, that's basically the only button I ever use.
Okay.
All these other buttons are basically preset buttons. Like if you're gonna make yogurt, you can use the yogurt button and stuff like that. But they're all basically presets.
Okay.
So the way I look at it is, if it's a preset button, it's going to automatically, like say you're cooking, let's pick one, meat and stew. So you've got chicken in here, you're gonna hit the meat button, is what that's designed for. But it automatically presets it at a certain time. Well, who knows if your chicken breasts are super thin or thick, or you know, that's gonna affect the cook time.
Right.
So
many
I stay
variables.
away from those. Yeah.
Okay.
I stay away from those. I just use the pressure cook or the manual button, and then that way I can choose how long I want to cook it. So if I have like one chicken breast, it might only take me 10 minutes. If I have like 5 in there, it's gonna take me longer.
Okay.
So I typically stay away from those for that purpose, because I think sometimes when people use those, then it's not cooked through, and they're like, oh, it's failing, and then they just get mad with it and stuff.
Sure.
So I stay away from those for the most part, and I just use the pressure cook. The cancel button, or yours might say off, that's pretty straightforward. If you're doing something and you need to stop, you just hit cancel and turn it off. you have a delay start button, so it's kind of like a slow cooker. Like if you want to go to work and you got to put everything in, as long as it's not perishable, don't put like raw chicken in here before you go, and then not start it cooking because then it's gonna go bad. But you can use the delay start and you can make it start pressurizing 4 hours from when you put everything in.
Oh, okay.
So you can do that. And then saute is probably one of my favorite features. So with the saute mode, I'll let you push it.
Okay.
And we're gonna, turn it on. So once it is on saute mode, I don't know if you can see, it'll start with 30 minutes and it will stay on saute mode for 30 minutes. But if you hit, now it's saying it's on, so it's like getting ready to get hot. But if you hit saute again, where is it? You'll see that it moved from more to less. And here again, it goes to normal. And again, it goes to more. So it will automatically start on more. And just think of these as like low, medium, and high.
Okay.
So it'll adjust your temperature. Yep.
Hey, that makes sense.
That's a really nifty feature. And it also will help your Instant Pot. It's kind of like a preheat. So even if you're not sauteing anything for your recipe, like if you're not using garlic or onions or anything like that, you can turn on the saute feature and it's going to heat up your Instant Pot. So when you do put your liquid and your lid on, it'll actually come to pressure faster.
Okay.
So that's
so do you usually keep it at normal, or does it depend?
I actually keep it on high.
Okay.
On more, just because it's not going to hurt it to be hotter.
Okay.
It's faster. Even with like onions and garlic, but it gets hot. Like this will get really hot. I have burned stuff before because I wasn't paying attention, or my kids came in and I had like onions in here or something, and I've burned stuff. But I do hot just because it gets
you can
temperature
keep
faster.
it stirred, moving around. Okay.
Yep. So that's that button.
Saute and pressure cook. I got that.
Those are the two that I use the most. You can also adjust your pressure levels too when you're on pressure cook. I'm not going to turn it on because I don't have my lid on, so it won't work. But you can do that too with the less and more and all that. So it just adjusts your pressure levels. But I always use high for everything I cook.
Okay.
So
the recipe, the one meal that I made was a chicken for chicken tacos. And it didn't tell me less, more, normal. And so because I'm so by the book, I didn't know what to do.
Yep.
So you would say default maybe is more.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. And most recipes are going to say pressure cook on high. Okay. And so that's what more is. Just think of it, like I said, as low, medium, and high. Okay. So most things are going to be pressure cook on high or manual on high for so many minutes. Which is another thing too, people get frustrated with. They say, okay, I have this recipe and it says I'm going to have my chicken done in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
It's not 5 minutes.
Well, because you have the pressure, you have to let the pressure out at the end.
Yep. So any recipe you see, you want to make sure you add usually 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how full it is. The fuller your Instant Pot is, the longer it's going to take to come to pressure. So if you have it, a little bit full, it's going to take about 5 minutes. If you have it to like its max capacity, be prepared for it to take about 20 minutes before it comes to pressure. So you always want to add about 5 to 20 minutes onto your recipe before it's like ready to go.
Just a question that came to my mind. Do you cook frozen meat in your Instant Pot?
Oh yeah. So with the Instant Pot, I've noticed that it's kind of funny. So if you're cooking like raw chicken, and I'm doing just one raw chicken breast, I can cook it in about 10 to 15 minutes depending on the thickness of it. And if it's frozen, I just add about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. That's it. So, and it's really longer. It's really forgiving too, because your meat's never gonna dry out because it's got that liquid in there. So you always have to use liquid when you're using the Instant Pot of some sort, not like a thick sauce, like a salsa.
Like a chicken broth or something like that?
Yep, you can use, a lot of recipes will call for water.
Okay.
But I always say use chicken broth.
Right. It's got like all the seasoning
flavor
already.
Yeah, gotta get the flavor. So, but some people will make like a Mexican chicken and they'll put salsa in there and no water, and that can sometimes give you a burn warning. And it'll say on your Instant Pot like burn, and it's just because that liquid's too thick and it won't come to pressure correctly, and it'll just stick to the bottom of the pan.
That is
so
good
even
to know.
if you have something like that, add just a little bit of water in there to dilute the thick salsa or tomato sauce or whatever you're using. So
that's good.
Yeah, and then you have a keep warm function. Okay. So you can use that as like a slow cooker too. Like say you're gonna take this to a party and you have like a chili or something, you can take it and it's already cooked and you just turn on the keep warm. Keep it warm, yep, and it'll keep warm for up to 10 hours.
Wow.
So it's got some juice power there. But yeah, and then you have a slow cooker function too. So the biggest difference between slow cooker and pressure cooker is with the lid. on your recipes, it'll say like make sure it's turned to sealing for any time you pressure cook. So when you're pressure cooking, you want it to be on sealing, but when you slow cook, you want it to be on venting the whole time.
Oh.
So that's the biggest difference. So people will try to slow cook and they'll turn it on to sealing, but it's not gonna work.
You're pressure cooking at that point.
Yep. So it's not gonna work. So if
even though you have this button pushed, it's still kind of doing the same thing.
Yep.
Okay.
So if it's a slow cook, you definitely want it to be on venting the whole time. And if it's a pressure cook, it has to be on sealing. Which, another thing.
Don't burn yourself with the steam.
Don't burn yourself with the steam. Did that happen to you?
Maybe. Nothing major. I knew it was coming.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people get scared with this because it is scary. I mean, you go to turn that knob and it's like whoosh, like a geyser just coming out at you. So you can use like a long handle, use your little spoon or something and just kind of do that if you're intimidated by it. But the other thing is a lot of people get confused what's a natural release versus a quick release in a lot of recipes.
Yes.
So if it's you're on sealing and you're pressure cooking, if something calls for a natural release, that just means you let it sit. Oh. Let the pressure drop naturally. You don't mess with this, and eventually this little pin will drop when all the pressure is out. Okay. And then a quick release is you actually manually turning that knob and letting the pressure come out.
So another question. My sister had an Instapot, and this piece right here maybe malfunctioned or something, so she ordered a new one. Have you heard of that, and have you ever done it? And
I've never had an issue. It does come off, by the way, so I take this off and I clean it. Because sometimes if you're cooking like potatoes or pastas or whatever, all that foam can
mildew.
Yep.
Mildew. What did I say? No, not mildew. Nope, don't do that.
Yeah, well, if you don't clean it, it might mildew.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, anything that creates that starchy foam.
Okay.
Sometimes if you're venting it, it'll start spitting out and it's really gross. So I do recommend taking this off and cleaning it and just making sure that there's nothing in there. And for that, honestly, I just use an old toothbrush. Okay. So I just have an old toothbrush.
She's so smart.
And it just gets in there really easily. Same thing with all these like nooks and crannies around here because this metal piece doesn't come out. So I just kind of use a toothbrush and clean it out. There's a little tip for you. But yeah, you can order replacement parts for this if you need to, but
you haven't had to.
I've never had an issue with it.
Okay.
So, but there's that.
Okay.
And then let's see. Oh, a sealing ring. So this little ring that's inside here, it just pops out. Really simple. You can order replacements of these on Amazon too. I will say I clearly need to get a new one. It's a little dingy. But you can order replacement ones, and I have heard of people that will order like, because Amazon has like blue ones and red ones and everything like that, and people will order like a ring for everything they cook. So if you're cooking something spicy, they have a red ring for that. If they're cooking something sweet, like a dessert,
why do you think they do that?
Because they can gather smells.
Oh, okay.
And so people were like, well, I don't want my cheesecake tasting like my spicy chicken tacos that I made or whatever. So they'll order multiple ones. But something that I think people forget about is you can take this out and you can wash it. Like this goes in the dishwasher.
Oh, okay.
Or you can also put like just some plain white vinegar in here and make it come to pressure just with the vinegar in it, and it'll clean everything too. Oh. So there's a little tip for you.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
But this always has to be inside here. And like I said, just kind of pops around.
Around the middle.
Yeah.
This is a hands-on learning experience today.
So if you don't have that in there, you're going to have a mess.
Yeah.
And it won't come to pressure. So make sure every time you clean it, you add that back in there.
Okay.
But yeah, just kind of folds right in. Just like that. That's easy. Yep. And then this little part right here, this is part of your venting mechanism. You can always pop this off too.
Yeah, I think when my Instapot came, I had to actually put that on. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. So you can always take that off and clean it under there as well. Okay. So if you're cooking, like I said, if you're cooking something starchy, I would definitely take that off and clean it just because it can get. Yep. And then I always say store your lid upside down for that same reason. If you're cooking something, if you store your lid on like this, you're gonna trap all those scents and everything inside. But if you store it upside down, it lets it breathe a little bit more.
So the air.
Yep. That's something
Good
I
tips.
recommend. What else? Do you have any questions? Like anything still intimidate you about it?
Well, I think all those little tips are helpful. I think for me, maybe the next step would be just basic recipes where to start, and then just grow from there. I saw on one of your videos you did rice.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
rice is really simple. you can rinse it or you cannot rinse it. I've done it both ways.
Okay.
But it's literally 1 part water to 1 part rice. So if I'm using a cup of rice, I put a cup of water in there and I put the lid on. And so we'll just pretend here. You put your lid on, make sure it's to sealing.
Okay.
And then I just do pressure cook, and I use these little up and down arrows to select your time. So we'll just do, I don't have any liquid in here, so we're not gonna do this, but you just go down to 4 minutes, and then here in a minute it will beep and it will turn to on.
Okay.
And that's how you know it's going. If it stays on this timer and it doesn't ever go to on, then
there it is.
Yep. So that's saying like, okay, it's gonna start coming to pressure now, which I'm gonna cancel because I don't have anything in there. And then when it is done cooking, it will beep again at you and it will say L0001.
I've seen that.
And the L just stands for lapse time. So that's just letting you know like it's been done cooking for however many minutes. So some recipes will say like let it natural release for 5 minutes and then do a quick release. So that's that wait until it's L005 and then you can do your quick release. So yeah, rice is a really good one. Eggs, hard-boiled eggs. I say if you don't have an Instapot, get it just for the hard-boiled eggs because some kind of magic happens in here.
Okay.
They are the easiest things. Like the shell literally just peels right off.
Okay.
Every time. You don't have to do any baking soda. You don't have to use old eggs. Like none of the old like tricks that everybody tells you. Oh, use this.
I would love a mini tutorial on that.
Well, we can do that.
Okay.
I have to make some eggs, and you can get like on Amazon. They have all kinds of different accessories. Like this is just a little egg trivet.
Okay.
That you can get on Amazon. You just put your little eggs in there.
Ooh, quick question. How does this go inside there? I am trying to build a tent or something, like trying to raise it up. The picture, it was a nightmare.
So this is the trivet that comes with the Instant Pot, okay? And if you hold it like this, you can see the little feet.
Oh, okay.
So this is the bottom part. And then these just go straight up and down. And they're bent so that you can get in there with your fingers
to pull up
and
whatever's on there.
Yep. So I honestly don't really use this trivet for very much. I have another accessory that you can get is something like this. And this is for what they call pot and pot cooking.
Okay.
So some recipes will have you do that, and it's a little sling. And just comes apart. And then this is that doesn't fall. This is just 2 pots. So you have a pot, you can put like potatoes or something in here, and then like we've done meatloaf before, so I'll have like potatoes down in the bottom, put the meatloaf in here, and then you put it all together, and then you just lots up there, and then you just kind of, you don't even need this, put it down in there, and it all cooks together at the same time.
And then you just put your liquid around the edge.
Yep, and then you just pull it right back out.
That's cool.
So this, I mean, I used it when I first got it. I used to put like my chicken and stuff on it.
Right.
I don't do that anymore because I feel like
you just put the chicken in.
Yeah, yep. I just put the chicken and the liquid and everything in because 9 times out of 10, if I'm gonna put chicken in here, it's gonna be for shredded chicken.
Okay.
Which another little tip: use a hand mixer to shred your chicken. Yes, hand mixer.
That's
if you
my
don't have a
least
husband
favorite thing
that will
do.
sit there and shred with a fork or bear claws or whatever. Get yourself your hand mixer. It shreds in like 30 seconds.
And you just do it in here?
Yep. In there with the liquid, everything.
Nice.
It's so simple. But yeah, this comes with it. You can use it. Here's another little accessory, the springform pan. If you have something like this, that's what I would use my trivet for. Something like that. But I don't really use it very often, to be honest.
So what are you making here?
So in here you can make cheesecake.
Oh.
Brownies.
Cheesecake and brownies.
Yeah.
In the Instapot.
Yeah, girl. Anything that you would make in like the oven with like a water bath.
Okay.
You can make in your Instapot.
Okay.
Because it's basically the same thing. You got that water in there, steaming it and everything. Egg bites. Like Starbucks, you know those sous vide egg bites from Starbucks? Oh. You can get yourself a little egg mold.
Oh my word.
Like this, and you can make them at home. They're so good. and the nice thing is too, is like you can make a bunch of them and keep them in the fridge and you have breakfast.
There you go.
And you just grab out of the fridge and go. So, but yeah, cheesecake is a good one. Brownies are a good one. Trying to think of what other desserts we've made. You can make cookies, like a big, like one big cookie in here. Chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, a little cookie cake.
Yep. So, I mean, you can bake.
Okay, so back to the eggs.
Yes.
I totally distracted you. I really want to know about the eggs.
So eggs are really simple. I will, if I can get this back on. Okay. I'm gonna go grab some eggs real quick.
Okay.
And we're gonna make some eggs. Okay, so I went and gathered some stuff.
Okay.
And you're gonna make some hard-boiled eggs. So it's really simple. I use you'll see it if you look it up. It's called the 5-5-5 method. So you're gonna do it for 5 minutes, let it release for 5 minutes, do a quick release, and then you're gonna put them in an ice bath for 5 minutes.
Okay.
So it's the 5-5-5. So what we're gonna do to start, you're gonna put this trivet in. If you don't have the egg trivet like this, you can use this trivet, which is what I used to use before I got this. Okay. So you would just set your trivet in, put your eggs on top, and you're good to go. But so we're gonna put that in.
All right, hands-on learning.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go ahead and add our eggs.
How many?
I think there's 7. Yeah.
Which way? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. No. So we'll put all of our eggs in.
We have 1 egg left.
That's fine. Okay. And then, so with the Instant Pot, you always want to have liquid because otherwise it's not going to come to pressure. So I always add in 1 cup of water. You always want to have at least a cup of liquid, and you just pour it right over.
Doesn't even matter.
Nope.
Don't knock your eggs off.
Yep. And then we're going to put the lid on. Maybe. There we go. And then always have it to sealing, so you want to make sure your knob's at sealing.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, and then you're going to do pressure cook or manual, depending on your model, and you're going to put it up to 5 minutes. And then
that's it.
That's
you don't push start or anything.
Nope.
It just goes.
So once it beeps, it'll say on here in a second.
And then this will happen for 5 minutes.
Yep. And since there's not much in there, it's going to take about 5 minutes to come to pressure.
Okay.
And then it'll start counting down. Once it's to pressure, this will change to the actual time. So it'll say the 5, and then it will start counting down.
Okay.
And then once it's done, it'll beep again, and that's when it'll turn to the L. And then since we're going to do a natural release for 5 minutes, we're going to let it sit there until it gets to L005. Then we'll do the quick release and pull them out, put them in ice bath.
Simple.
So
I love
simple.
it.
So simple. Okay guys, so now this is, I believe, at 5 minutes. I can't see it, but pretty sure.
Yes.
Yep,
it is.
So what we're gonna do is Miss Amy is going to go ahead and release the pressure now.
Okay. Make sure you don't put your face down there.
Yep.
Woo!
So there it goes. And since it released for 5 minutes on its own, there's not gonna be as much pressure in there, so it's not gonna take long for it to come down. But, so what you're looking for is when all the pressure is released, this little silver pin right here will drop down. So until that happens, don't try and rush your lid off. I've seen people like, oh, okay, I think it's mostly done, and they like strong arm the lid off. You'll end up breaking it. So don't do that.
Oh,
there goes the little pin. So now you know you're good to open the lid.
Okay.
Yep. And then, a lot of people don't know this little knob here and here, they fit right inside here. So it's like a little lid rest.
I did not know that. I'm going to go this way so I can get the eggs out.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's a little... Look, that
one already is ready for you.
It's totally ready. Like I said, some kind of magic happens.
That is incredible.
So you can just pull them out with some tongs and put them right in your little ice bath. Yep, just pull it right out.
Ooh, that's hot though. Use the tongs, Amy.
So then I usually let them sit in the ice bath for about 5 minutes, and then we peel them, and they're good to go. It's so easy.
Amazing.
So easy.
I will use this feature a lot. I need to get one of these though.
The little egg trivets.
Yeah.
And like you can get on Amazon. I believe all of this stuff. My steamer basket, my springform pan, all this stuff I think was like in a package for like $20.
Oh really?
Like it's not that expensive at all. So
it's good to know.
Once we're done with this, we will just go ahead because it will stay on this keep warm feature.
Okay.
So we can go ahead and I don't know where the buttons are.
Cancel. Yep. Or off.
Cancel or off. And that's that.
All right. Awesome.
So we'll take these and we'll go peel them.
Oh yes.
See? Just comes right out.
Easy. Easy peasy peeling.
Really easy. And I feel like with the
look at that.
Yeah. There's no finger dents. There's no like, you know, because like you get like your nail in there to try to get the peel off. Yeah. No. It just comes right out. Alright guys, so you saw how easy that was. The peels just came right off. Like I'm saying, if you have an Instant Pot for nothing else, have it for your hard-boiled eggs because
I can do this.
Oh, so simple. So yeah.
Thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. This is really helpful. All the little extra details.
Yeah.
I think I can do this. I can go home and make a meal in my Instapot.
Yeah. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, leave it in the comments below, and hopefully I can help you guys out. So, all right. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thanks.
And we'll see you guys next week.